Again, we're going to see if the camera wants to follow us. There. Yay, team. All right, so we repeated with Kayla where the camera didn't follow us. The mounting work at the mounting block. She did excellently well. I'll have to show you another time, or maybe I'll just put that clip up by itself because if it shows up at all. In any case, I wanted to show some things up close to the camera. And good. And over. She was sliding her butt out. That's something she likes to do, so I'm going to push her butt in. Over. Good. So this is an important task for Kayla to remember. Good. Over. Excellent. Good girl. Okay, so when I'm working with a young horse, the reason I don't start the exercises with the horse in 2 reins is because it's too confusing. It also blocks the horse from moving its outside shoulder and opening and connecting from the haunch to the shoulder. It can catch, once the horse is more educated in the rein aids, the outside shoulder and help the horse from falling to the outside, but this is why we start the exercises principally on the rail unless we're doing a circle. So when we do the circle, we're asking for the flexion to the inside rein, and we generally want to be about 6 inches. I tend to, because Kayla's taller and longer, have to go a little further back than the norm to adjust for my height and her height differential. So you have to go with what's comfortable and makes sense. The other thing is, when you're positioning the head and the neck of the horse, you don't want it below the point of the shoulder like she is right there. So I'm going to correct that. Bring your haunch back in. So that was sneaky. Okay, good. I want the horse to stay under herself. And she wants not to. Okay, there you go. So that's a good thing. She knows how to do this now. Walk up. I'm going to make her walk straight forward. She wants to fall out with the hip. So I push the shoulder out. And I'm going to get right to the rail because the rail is going to prevent that hip from falling as much. Good. And then I'm going to ask it to come in. Over. Kayla. Make sure you leave a window for the horse to open. Excellent. Towards you. Good, like that. Good girl. It's awkward for the young horse to think to step into you like that. So you have to realize they're not being rude. They're being protecting you, and you have to make sure they feel they have the space to walk towards you. So I'm going to ask another step. Walk up. Excellent. Like that. Excellent. So now Kayla has learned the haunches in. Very nice. Very nice. We don't ask for a lot of steps. We just want her to know we're happy with that. Give her a little cookie. Because that was a big exercise for her. That's something we've had to work hard at. And so we're going to repeat today what we did yesterday in hand very shortly on the left and then go focus more on the right. So we're going to repeat what we know. The horse is limber. She's not locked up in the neck, so I can go straight to straight work. I don't have to do this circle straight away, which I did do a few earlier that the camera missed. I'm using just the outside rein at the moment. My inside fingers, the rein is just laying on it. And I'm using the outside rein so the horse understands the balance, a better head position. Good, walk up. Excellent. I want her to learn to get a good, nice walk. Excellent. And as we come into our scary corner, and I lift the inside rein so the horse doesn't bury down and fall into the left shoulder, which is what she wants to do. So again, right now I'm using just the outside rein, the whip on the inside of the neck because she wants to fall on the shoulder, then a touch behind the girth. Catch the eye with the whip where the horse wanted to fall out. Walk up. And Good. Excellent. Very good. So that was the scary corner. We got our little spook in place, which is great. Now you see I have a longer length of rein than I would take on another horse so that I can allow the horse to be straight in her head and neck. The outside rein is taking the main contact right now. Unless I'm working on a circle. Kayla has a good deal of energy today. So I'm asking for the hoe a little step back. She's tipping forward here big time. There we go. Back. Excellent. Good. Cool. Excellent. Walk up. Excellent. And hoe. Excellent. So she's learning now, instead of hoeing with the whip at the nose, to hoe with the whip placed on her hips, telling her that's her safe rest moment. And she did that really nicely, with the rein gently saying to stop. And I do mean ever gently. This is not a harsh hold your horse to a halt. So if you start to hold the horse hard at this stage, then the horse will only know to bury and pull into you. So there she stopped. Excellent. So I'm going to, yes. So I corrected the horse's posture a little. She's resisting. Because she didn't come through from the haunch, through into the chest. She collapsed the chest and went behind the aids of the bridle. That was ever slight, but it's so important that you recognize that the horse is not forward into the contact. You're teaching the horse contact at this stage. So she just fell into the contact there. Back. Good. So I corrected that. And then walk forward. So I want the horse to engage more from the haunch, because she's falling on the forehand. If you think that the way to correct the horse from falling on the forehand is through your hands, that's where you're sadly mistaken. It's through the haunch. There you go. Very light lift and jingle on the inside rein to open up the inside shoulder, but tap the hip through. Like that. There we go. Like that. Excellent. Now the horse has corrected its posture. It's coming through the chest. Very good. And ho. And an immediate release of the reins and all things that requested hoe. So the horse knows that she did well. She did very well, and because there was a slight spook in our corner, we're going to repeat that corner. Oh, you think you should have a treat? I suppose. I suppose I could be cajoled into this. Yes, Quela. So, I've had the pleasure of being dropped off what would have maybe been a book that Alex Cagnat was writing in collaboration with Nuno. They both were students of Miranda. And, oh, excellent. And they had the same fears about equestrian art being lost and needing to be preserved as we do today. It's been going on for a long time. It's just a little bit more exacerbated these days. The art is less important to society than it used to be. Schools cutting it out of their programs. So there, she didn't listen to the whip on the hip, so I had to take the whip forward to the eye. Excellent. And walk. Good. Good. So I was careful to release the inside rein and not hold it so that she could be straight on the rail into the outside rein. The whip is at the shoulder, which helps control the inside shoulder. And ho. Excellent. I don't like that she's falling, tipping forward on the halt. Back. And up. That's it. We're spooky today. We have a lot of energy, huh? Oh. Oh. So, we didn't lunge her first. This is 3 days of, or 2 days of concentrated work instead of running. So, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to tie the reins safely and let her take her freedom for a bit. These are really long reins because he has a very long neck. For an Andalusian or Iberian, that's an unusual thing. But there we go. Excellent, Quela. Good girl. Yeah. So I tied her reins so she can't put her head down and graze. or trip on them. Ah, that's it. There, catch that shoulder. So I'm going to let her some freedom. See if she wants to do it together or just wants to express her trot a little. Up, up, like that. Excellent, Quela. She's choosing to stay around me in a circle. I'll see if I can support the inside a little so she stops falling in. Excellent. Good girl. It's important to sometimes interrupt progress with a young horse, not be so overly eager about what we want to achieve, and let them feel that they can show us how they feel about things. Good girl, Quela. Up, up. Excellent. Excellent, Quela. That hip has to come down today. What a trot. Very nice, Quela. When we used to work with Bettina, a gentleman by the name of Bob Vulcan used to visit and work there, and he had horses there. And one of the things he always liked to talk about was how, for the horse to extend properly, he cannot properly extend beyond the point of his nose. If you drew a line from the tip of the nose down to the ground, that would be the maximum the horse can extend the stride correctly, comfortably. When they go beyond that, they are no longer in good balance or correct. So when the horses are being held in a tight collection, and you see those legs lifting up off in the air, they're frequently actually causing the horse a lot of damage. It's important to point that out. I don't mind the way you ride, but I do mind if you're causing damage to the horse. Maybe you're not aware because you see others doing it and it's the fad, but maybe you should take time to educate yourself before you do a thing, whether it's biomechanically correct for the horse or not. Good girl, Quela. Good girl. I'm fortunate that I can support my horse habit with other means so that I can practice the art. Oh. Ah, excellent. All right, so now I'm going to see if we can work together. She had a little stretch. That was good for her. Have that stretch. Look, Quela. Very good, Quela. Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to connect our reins again. There we go. Okay, so no harm done. The horse had a little bit of freedom. Took a little more of our time. Now we're going to prepare to work to the right in hand. It was pretty crooked, Quela, and it lost us. Hate when it gets a crooked view. There we go. All right, so now we're going to the right in hand for the first time. Remembering that the horse knows all these cues that you just saw with the whip from our halter work together. Remember, we moved the horse laterally first to the rail, so it's not confusing. Over. Yes, and in Quela's case, she's having a hard time with this inside, the right hind, doing its job when we were left. She wanted to keep collapsing that in. Working to the right will help that. Good. Excellent. From the left, she already knows that I mean to halt when I put the whip here like so. Good girl. And relax. Huh? Good. Okay. And walk up. Walk up. So always let the horse take the first step so that they don't get behind the aids. That's good. So I did a little circle. I'm coming into the area we'd like to spook at. And there it was, as I would expect. Very, very expected. So I'm using just the inside rein. Again, this is her first time with the bridle only, work in hand, to the right. Excellent. And so we have just the pressure of the inside rein. I'm tapping at the girth for the rib cage to open, for the chest to come through to the outside fore from the inside hind. They should take just as far of a step forward as they do sideways. Excellent. And often that's where the disconnection is. In many horses I see, you'll see the hind leg taking big steps and then not coming through the chest. Excellent, Quela. Very good. So that little bit of work. Ooh, bravo. And walk up. And now we're going to use the reins and the whip and ho. So we go correctly, more quickly on some of the new things we already taught and fixed on the other side because she now understands that. Walk up. Sometimes the horse doesn't pick up so fast and back. Back. Good. And up. Excellent. So she's a little tougher on the jaw here. So I'm tapping at the girth. I'm jingling the inside rein for a little more flexion to unlock the neck. Here, I want to unlock the neck right there. At 2. C2. Walk up. You can do flexions standing. You can do flexions walking in motion. If you're doing them standing, you're doing Boucher's work. In motion, you're doing Phyllis's work. They're both very valid and helpful. And in different circumstances, you have to vary your work for the horse's requirement. Excellent. Never stay too long in any particular thing, especially the green horse. Back, back, back. Good. Oh, back. Good. Walk up. Very good. So now I'm taking the outside rein to show the horse the rail, releasing the inside rein. So there's one rein acting unless I ask for the halt. If you do 2 reins right now, all these extra things you might do when the horse is more trained will confuse the poor young horse. And ho. And back. And it was very nice of my friend to ask me this question about why one rein, not using a supporting outer rein right away, because later that's what we'll do. But it's not always what we do. It depends on the horse's body and where it needs to be loosened that day. Back. That's it. So here I'm correcting the distance between the hind legs and the forelegs. I want the horse to step through more, so I'm going to open up again into a circle. Up. Excellent. Now I'm hitting the ground. Just for Quela, hitting her is not always a good thing. Sometimes it's just showing the whip where I want her to move. Excellent, like that. So there, that was a really strong angle in the horse at the base of the neck to unlock the chest at the 6th and 7th vertebrae. Sorry for taking a moment to pull out a toxic weed, but if you don't get these guys, they get out of hand fast, and they are very poisonous to young horses. So I'm going to go put them in my box here so they die. So if I forget to come back, the weed isn't going to kill anybody while I'm not looking. Right, Quela? Never go buy toxic weeds and leave them there for another day, because they'll spread. Alright, it's as much a part of horsemanship knowing what's toxic in your area as proper training. Everything matters to the horse. You should know. Excellent halt, Quela. That is exactly the way she should have been halting all along. That was the first halt she made that way. She's correctly under herself. She's not tipped forward, falling into the inside like she was when we started. So that little bit of work, loosening, walking straight, then making a circle, help the horse to find herself, connect her haunch, and get under herself better. Very good. So I'm going to let her feel that. We're just going to stand here and enjoy that correct posture. Let's not disturb it too quick. Good girl. I want her to know she did well. Excellent. She did that particularly well. All right, Quela. And again, now I'm going to take my outside rein so the horse goes straight and walk. Walk up. Make sure you encourage the walk from the haunch and the hip with the whip, whether you're wiggling the whip or tapping, because if you don't, the horse will be being pulled forward by you with your hands, which is the main reason most horses fall. Excellent, excellent, Quela. I don't want the hip in though in this case. Walk up. There we go. That's better. And walk up. So I'm taking the outside rein. The horse wants to fall in with her hip in this direction, so I have to keep the hip with the whip more on the rail. So the tap is more against the haunch than the girth. And I'm also straightening the head and the neck and pushing the neck with the lifting inside rein towards the rail so she doesn't fall in on the shoulder. Good. Very good. So that was more about correcting posture than teaching anything else. I'm very pleased with her work, and I'm going to call that a day. I have some more toxic weeds to pull, so I'm going to make sure I get these. Hope you have a beautiful day. It's not for you. Good girl. And enjoyed our session together today, and learned something that you find useful. I think it's important that we understand why we do things, and we understand why it would hurt a horse to do it in a different way, and that we don't pick because of a saddle style or type, our riding discipline, call it a name of English or Western or some trainer's name, but rather understand that the training is about the horse and what the horse needs at that moment. And our duty is to use the trainings, the different trainings, know the different ones, know why they're different, know what's good or bad about each, and from that, pick what's going to help the horse you're with. It's not a standard with a horse for me to work off the line in hand and plan on mounting this horse, good girl, without a lunge line on her, because it usually helps to explain to the young horse, Quela, over. So now I have to work on this hip learning to come over. Ooh, ooh, which is okay. Over. Quela. So just like we had to teach it from the other side, over, over. I'm touching the same point of the hip, whether the whip is on the left or the right, so she understands. Quela. Over. You're such a good girl. Ooh. Excellent. Nice. She's getting a bit revved, so I better just hold. Excellent, Quela. Ah. Always be careful with how revved up you get a horse because of your aids. Over. Now I'm not touching her, I'm just putting the whip in the direction. Over. No. Quela. Over. Over. So I'm teaching her how it is to have that whip from whether it's on the right or the left, but still touching the same point means the same. Excellent. Bravo. Walk up. Excellent. Good. Walk up. Excellent. Walk up and ho. Ah, 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 ah. Ho. Over. Ah, 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 ah. No. Over. Ah, ah. Over. Over. Over, Grover. Over. Ah, 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 ah. Quela. Over. Over. Ah, 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 ah. There you go. Excellent. Excellent. Ah, bravo. Easy. Easy, good girl. Over. Ah, ah. Over. Ah, 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 ah. No, so now she's pretty sure the only hip that has to move over is the opposite one that I want right now. Which is why we have to work this. So she understands both directions, huh? Over. Ah, 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 ah. Oh. Over. Excellent. Good. Ah, ah. Over. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Bravo. Yeah. Good girl. Look up. Up. Excellent. And ooh. Very good. So now the horse is where I could pretend I was mounting again. We did start off with this exercise before. To the left. We're ending it to the right because we worked on the right. Good. And we didn't get that hip to move over as much as we wanted to, but we could see Quela was getting a bit uptight about it. We did get her to understand the point from the direct aid. The indirect aid was a bit more complicated. So we have to understand that if we asked and demanded more, we might just upset the apple cart and create less learning today instead of more. Right now, the horse understands what I wanted. She's happy and content. She's not uptight by the work. And this is where you want to call it a day. Excellent. We asked more. We accepted less.